Hey, welcome back, Scooby Gang. How you doing? This is Scooby Prime coming at you with another collections video. So people wanted a couple more collection videos to go along with the diorama. So this next one is going to be on my X-Men shelf. What figures made it to the shelf, which figures did not, and how I go about putting my display together. So with that said, let's get right into it. So what I want to talk about first is the X-Men that have not stayed on the shelf. My shelf up until about a month or so ago was pretty overcrowded. And so what I had to do was I had to make some tough choices. I had to take some figures down, and I do want to rotate them back in at some point. Or maybe I make a second X-Men shelf. But at the moment, what I have up on the shelf is going to stay there for a bit, but what has come off, and we'll start with the most controversial one, is I took Magneto off. Yes, Magneto, super head villain to the X-Men for the longest time, also former headmaster to School of the Gifted Youngsters when Charles Xavier was gone for a while. Yes, this figure is awesome looking. The problem I have and why I took them off is because when we go to the shelf, the back row of flyers, as I call them, is they just take up way too much space. And he's a flyer. And I had him back there, and it just looked overcrowded. And so I had to take him down. Love this figure. He's going to make the rotation again, and he's going to get back up there. But right now, he's got to come off. When you talk about Magneto, we'll talk about another kind of former bad guy to the X-Men, then good guy, then bad guy, then good guy again, then government worker, who knows. And that's Mystique. She looks fantastic again. Nothing wrong with the figure being displayed other than the fact that I just don't have the room. I know at some point, I think she becomes leader of X Factor. I know she's supposed to be Nightcrawler's mother. And, I know the whole storyline on Mur Island with Destiny, and all that. But at the end of the day, there's only so much room you have for so many figures. So while we talk about Mur Island, we'll talk about the main person that runs Mur Island. That's Dr. Moira McTaggart. And this figure came off because, not like the other two, it just doesn't look like her. I don't like this at all. I don't know what version of her they decided to do, but it was definitely past my time collecting X-Men. So when I grew up, I collected pretty much every X-Men title from the mid 80s through early 90s. And it didn't matter if it was X Factor, X-Force, New Mutants, Excalibur, Uncanny X-Men, X-Men, whatever it was, I was eating it up. I was buying it all. And I still have all of those comics. So, let me know in the comments if you guys ever want me to go through my comic book collection. I don't know if anybody's really interested in that stuff anymore, like looking at a comic book collection. But if you are, we can quickly just go through like the titles by the different boxes I have that are in my storage, small storage area downstairs for some of my not displayed stuff. But anyway, I'm not a big fan of that character, just the way that mold turned out. I like the character in the comics. Another character I loved in the comics, and especially in that one episode where after the Siege Perilous, Colossus comes back. He's been taken over by Shadow King. He's trying to kill Charles Xavier. And, one of the other guys taken over by Shadow King is Multiple Man. And yes, I just showed him on the haul, which is pathetic that he's now off the shelf. But this version of him, he was in this costume in that comic. I did like him much better in the long trench coat when he was part of X Factor, right before the whole mutant virus thing happened. Unfortunately, this figure is like, you can get him for like $10 now. If you pay more than that, you're probably overpaying. But the other figure is very expensive, but he just doesn't make the shelf because, he's just not in the, I guess, outfit that I'm used to seeing him in. Moving on to the next couple of figures. I got 4 figures left here where I'll kind of do them in pairs. So I just mentioned the New Mutants and X-Force a little while ago. Well, one of the original New Mutants and leaders of the New Mutants is Dana Moonstar. Dana Moonstar. I'll get that out. The figure looks great. I mean, the replication of her face and everything is just, the head sculpt is fantastic. Problem is, I'm a huge New Mutants fan, but there's only so much room I have on a single shelf for X-Men. So I had to decide which New Mutants were going to be up there and which ones weren't. There are some other New Mutants that maybe over time or X-Force figures that I may add or not, but for the moment, she had to come down, as did Banshee's daughter. So, you know, when Siren came down, I had her posed in a flying position. She's a cool figure. Head sculpt's a little different than what I remember in the comics, but overall, it's what I remember. But when I had to pick characters to stay, she's just not one of the ones that I have a really strong, like, feeling for, like, as part of the New Mutants or even as one of the original X-Force characters. And speaking of X-Force, there was a character on that I don't own named Shatterstar, and he was supposed to be the child of this next figure that I had to pull off the shelf, which is Longshot. Now, Longshot in X-Men animated, I don't know, that the whole way they kind of used him and made his character, I don't know, in my opinion, kind of goofy. I didn't like it. In the comics, he was much more valuable. He was much better used in the mid-'80s on the team. And of course, he fell in love with Dazzler, and the two of them went off to Mojo World, where he's originally from, and had to deal with Mojo and this next character, and the last, and that is Spiral. Spiral is a fantastic figure. Nothing wrong with this figure, other than the fact that her swords and arms take up a ton of space if you're limited to one shelf. So for me, the only reason I took her down is because I needed space. And I even left the cube on her to, in case I want to put her back up. She definitely will make the rotation again. I just don't know when. And then that takes us to another character that did not make the shelf, and I probably have him sold already to a buddy of mine for his kid, and that's this new release of Archangel. Yes, one of the original X-Men is Angel, one of the original X-Factor members. I like the version that came out before this with Warren Worthington III's head sculpt with the blonde hair, because at the end of the comics run, when I was watching them and he started, I guess, for lack of a better term, hooking up with Psylocke, that's kind of how he was portrayed in the comics. Not with the hood that he's currently wearing here up, you know, he kind of had his hair flowing and all that other stuff. So this guy's probably sold, and at some point in the future, maybe I'll get the version I want. And then the next one that's not on the shelf yet is because I just started dabbling in these, and I'm going with a Mafex Jean Grey Phoenix, and I ordered a bunch of the Mafex figures. We'll see if they make the shelf. They're supposed to be 6 inches. They should fit in with the Legends line, but at the end of the day, I'm going to open this up, see how I like the figures. She's the first one that came in. If I like them, then yeah, I may switch them out. And finally, from the haul videos, which is not going to go there, but it's going to go elsewhere in my office, is the Blackbird. Well, here it's the Bluebird, but I absolutely love the fact that I was able to get this. It's staying in box, and that's the way I want it. So with that said, we're going to move over to the shelf, and I will be right back. And welcome back, gang. I just left my chair over there to come stand in front of my glass cabinet. Now, with my glass cabinets, most of them have a mirrored back. However, some of them do not. And when they don't, I don't mind going out and having a photograph blown up image I just grab off the internet and use as a background. I'll even do it on some of the mirrored ones depending on what I'm trying to set up. With that said, I want to mention a company I've previously mentioned, Nation Photo Lab. They do a phenomenal job. This print right here was a mistake on my part because of a misunderstanding of the shipping policy and how it worked. When I posted my feedback, they actually reached out to me, their customer service team, and said, listen, how can we make this right? How can we help you out? And we just talked, and I was very honest. I said, look, it's my mistake. You know, it is what it is. But they wanted to see this final product done. So they came back and they worked with me, and their customer service is phenomenal. They stand behind their product. Their product is fantastic. Again, nothing on their end. The background, they were able to blow it up to the right size for me and be able to ship it. Fantastic job. I hope one day I can have them on the channel to talk about it, because I have their photos on so many different shelves for so many different cabinets. But this is the picture of Xavier's School for the Gifted Youngsters, or Xavier's Mansion, that I have a larger one in the back on this shelf. So let's get over to the cabinet now. As I mentioned on a previous haul video, I bought a lot of these from Bot Nation because I love the pop of the mirrored glass look of the acrylics. So for certain shelves, I do that. If I can't get those, I go ahead and make my own by 3D printing them. And this is a 3D print in matte colors that I wanted. Wanted it a little bit muted for mutants. Anyway, it looks good. That's just a button. But let's go ahead and open up the cabinet and take a look. All right. So what I tried to do here, folks, is I tried to put all the flyers in the back. As I said earlier, the problem is, as you can tell, they take up a lot of space. I mean, look at Angel's wings. Those are collapsed. Imagine if I had them all the way out. I mean, it's hard enough just getting them up there as it is. But let's go ahead and just work our way through the back row. Starting in the far right corner, we have Banshee. Banshee is a character where in the late 80s, early 90s, I really liked how they started using him more. For a while there, he just kind of disappeared in the mid 80s to like non-existent. So I'm very happy. He was a cool character. They brought him back in. This Storm is the SDCC version of Storm. It was an exclusive, and I absolutely love her. She looks like the Storm I remember as a kid with the white uniform. She is just perfect as is right there. Coming up next is Warlock, who was a Build-A-Figure for New Mutants. And he is standing in the far back down there, trying not to take up too much space. He's a big dude, but put him in the back for my little New Mutant section here. Then coming up is Jean Grey as the Phoenix. She has that gorgeous Phoenix that came with her as a figure. I will possibly see how the Mafex figure turns out with her. I'm not sure if I'll keep the Phoenix and her up there, keep the Phoenix with the Mafex character, or just go ahead and just put the Mafex character up there. We'll see. Next up is Madeline Pryor, Goblin Queen. She was a big part of the whole Inferno storyline, a clone of Jean Grey, thanks to Mr. Sinister, if I remember correctly. She's cool. I like her character back there. Next up is the original look for Angel, back before the Mutant Massacre, where Thor had to rescue him from the Marauders as they basically crucified his wings to the wall. And later, you know, Apocalypse takes him and recreates the metallic wings and feathers. Warren Worthington III, you know, founding member of the X-Men, founding member, well, as Archangel for X-Factor. Just a super cool figure. If they ever come out with the blue uniform with his blue skin, but with his original feathers back, man, I am buying that. Cannot wait. Second row, let's go through them. We have Gambit, everybody's favorite thief, coming from Louisiana, where hopefully my partner is getting healthy, getting well, and eventually he's going to be on the show. So feel better, my buddy. And that goes out to Big Easy. Rogue, his lover, or apparently according to what I'm hearing from a lot of people, his ex. You know, I'm only on episode 3 of X-Men 97, so whatever happens, happens. I'll find out and I'll get caught up. Next figure is Dazzler, and I love Dazzler. Whether she was in her bell-bottoms white uniform, wearing her roller skates, or whether she is in this look, just a super cool character, super cool power, I thought. Next up is from Hell's Fire Club is Emma Frost, also known as the White Queen. Now she's another character like Magneto and Mystique, where sometimes she's good, sometimes she's bad. When I was growing up, she was mostly bad. Towards the end there, she became like the head of the school, and she became good. I have no idea where her character arc went after that. Of course, leader of the X-Men, or one of them, especially when they split teams between Storm and Cyclops. But that is Cyclops with his optic blast in full effect. Looks fantastic. Gonna squeeze out of the way here again. Next up is Boom Boom. She was a super cool character as part of X-Force. She hung out and with her boyfriend and replacement leader Cannonball, who replaced Dana Moonstar. Next to them is the guy who can build anything, any type of weapon, anything tech, and that's Forge. And then another original X-Men and X-Factor member is Bobby Drake, Iceman, right there in the corner. Moving to the front row, we have Juggernaut, and he is holding the decapitated head of Jubilee. And he's doing that because I just think the whole Jubilee character is terrible. But that's my opinion. If you love Jubilee, great. You know, she was in the famous episode, listen to me, I keep saying episode, it's issue in the comics where, you know, Wolverine is basically crucified on a giant X, and she's the one that frees him in the Australian desert. So, you know, she came in, you know, thought she was going to be a cool character, kind of, I don't know, I really found her annoying and animated. Next is Professor X in his Zamboni chair, followed by a couple more New Mutants of Sunspot, who I loved in the X-Men movie Days of Future Past, because I don't like this fireball effect thing they're doing with him. I like when he turns completely black with white sizzling boils coming off everywhere, and he just looks super powerful, super strong. I just love that. Next is Colossus's sister, Magique, Elena Rasputin. She, you know, has a crazy storyline. Never really liked it. I liked when she was a teenager and she was part of the New Mutants. When they did the whole child thing and coming back, it was just weird. My third favorite X-Men of all time, Havoc. This brother of Scott Summers. This is Alex Summers. This is the look from the mid-'80s where, you know, for a while there, he had to take over because the original X-Men were missing, and he looked fantastic. His power, the way it comes off of him with that bubbling effect was just super cool in the comics. I loved it. Next is a new character that I wanted to add just because she looked cool, and she's a teleporter. But let's go to the original teleporter and everybody's favorite little demon, and that's Nightcrawler. Supposedly the son of Mystique, that's why they both have blue skin. Becomes leader of Excalibur at some point. Part of a love triangle with Kitty Pryde and Colossus. Just a weird thing. I can't understand it, but it is what it was. Next is the overused X-Men on just about everything, and that's Wolverine. Next is my second favorite X-Man, and that's going to be Psylocke. Psylocke is Betty Braddock, or at least her conscience and mind in that of an Asian assassin. She is the sister of Captain Britain, also on Excalibur, whose name is Brian Braddock. So she's just a really cool character. Becomes a love interest of Angel later on. But my favorite couple, which I mentioned on previous videos, and my favorite X-Men all time as a kid, I always wanted to be him and have his superpowers, and that is Colossus. And on his shoulder is his former girlfriend, or girlfriend what I like to think of from the 80s, Kitty Pryde, with her little pet dragon Lockheed on her shoulder. So with that said, everybody, So that's it, everybody. That's my X-Men collection. It's not massive. I know they have like 100 characters out. I don't even have Beast represented here. The Beast I love that they came out with the lab coat and everything, he's like 150 bucks. I'm not doing that. And they are coming out with an X-Men 97 version. Looks all right. It's still not my favorite Beast, and they have other versions as well. End of the day, I get the characters I like. I put the ones I want on display. And again, that's the whole point of this. What gives you that feeling of nostalgia? What brings you back those great memories of being a kid? I mean, those X-Men comics, there were times that, you know, I would just lose myself in those. And it didn't matter if I had football practice in the afternoon or anything like that. At the end of the day, I just love to find a quiet spot and just read through my X-Men comics. So with that said, hope you love your X-Men collection. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Don't forget my family out there, T3PK, The Kingdom. Go check out their channels. Fantastic group of guys. The Kingdom is phenomenal. None of us bring the same thing to our channels. We all talk about different things. We all talk about our strengths or what we want to do with our channels. Go check us all out. I'm telling you, there's not going to be like 7 channels of reviewers. It is great, great content. Go see what everybody's bringing to the table. And with that said, thank you for joining me. This is Scooby Prime, and I'm out of here.
In position, give ATL chasing grails with the collector's precision. Basement in the attic, live bringing energy to the stage. Diecast collected with the real talk, setting shelves in array.
MD Seeker takes flight. American dads keep it grounded. The Iacon files dig deep where the history gets uncovered.
Let's talk about it.
Breaks the latest molds down. Cybertronian quest keeps the truth in the sound.
Scooby Prime File got the deals with the chase. There 2727 brings the fire to the place. Joe
Prime in the mix, bringing power every time. Diz and designs makes the visions come alive.
TNT, Neon Prime hits the room. It's TNT time.
T3PK Network, let the whole thing shine. Every show has a voice, every creator has a time. T3PK Network, feel the rhythm come alive. Transformers, third party kingdom. Oh, this is where we thrive. Every vision has a home, every name gets its light. Different shows building something bigger every night. Transformers, third party kingdom.
Let's start the show.